Hello. Today we're going to look at recycling water for the garden. I'm going to start with a little word about local legislation. It's always a good idea to check out the rules of engagement in your local area because, believe it or not, there are laws governing how you use recycled water. So just check out locally what you can and cannot do. So now let's start. As you can see here, I'm next to a water butt. And here I'm collecting rainwater from the roof of my home. And it comes down this down pipe here and comes through a little pipe and into the water butt. And what I've also done is I've extended it by recycling these bins to increase the capacity of the water collected. I have the same system on the other side of the house because there's a second downpipe. Now, one thing to know about any kind of standing water, when you collect water, you must always have a lid, because in most areas you will have problems with mosquitoes if you don't close the water container. Now, these things can vary in size from the size I have here to vast water butts. They can be above ground like here, or they can be below ground, and it's certainly in dry areas an extremely good way of collecting water. So, what other things can we do? Apart from rainwater, we have other sources of water, such as streams, rivers, lakes and ponds, or even natural springs. So, if the legislation allows it, those are good sources of water too. One thing, certainly with your garden pond, the local fauna in your garden and in the pond need that water, so ensure that there is always enough water for their needs too. Now, I've come indoors because I want to talk about a thing called grey water. Now, what is grey water? Grey water is basically water we've used for household purposes that we can maybe collect to use on our green spaces. So here I'm in the kitchen. The washing up has been done, and washing up water is, again, a possible source of water for the garden. We also use a lot of machines, such as the dishwasher or the washing machine for our clothes, and they have outlet pipes, and it may be easy to collect the water from those too. Another thing is the shower and bath. Now, in my home, the shower unit is above the bath, so what we can do is put the plug in the hole in the bath and actually collect the water from the shower, or alternatively the bath, and again use this on our green spaces. Now, one last point. I'm talking about what we call grey water. There is another type which is called brown water, which is in effect the water that comes from the toilet. Now, we can't easily use that on our green spaces because effluent in toilet water, of course, can cause all sorts of nasty diseases and so on. So forget brown water. So toilet water is not to be used. The last option I'd like to cover is something which is slightly controversial, and that's urine. Now, some people use urine not only as a source of water, but actually as a kind of fertilizer, because diluted urine is a very good fertilizer for the garden. But as I said, it's really a question of choice for the individual, and of course depends on the legislation in place locally. So there, we've done a little tour of possible sources of water for the garden. I'm sure it's not totally exhaustive, but I'm hoping that's given you a few ideas on how to recycle water for your green space.